Howdy, ma'am. How are you today? How can I be of some service to you?
Well, I built this here saloon here, and if you want to see how it's made, stay tuned. I think I'm going to stick around for a little bit. What in the...
All right. Howdy, partner. We got a brand new one, literally brand new. This is from Benlarky. This is their very first official little kit like this. It's saying it's about a level 3.5. It's not too bad. And I'm gonna check it out. Let's go ahead and open the box. Right off the bat, what do I spy? Some really nice glue. Thank you. So we get good glue this time. Actually labeled. They have a really cute little note that talks about their Benlarky name. They want it to be larky, fun, whimsical, spark some joy. Kind of flip through the book. Very clear, gorgeous pictures. So far, this is, I think this is going to be a nice little puzzle. There's no building like a roll life or something like that. It is I say in quotes, a puzzle put together little kit. And it's pretty cute. So it's all just flat wood pieces. And I would say, my best advice, don't punch out anything until you need it. And there's also the cute little "Welcome to the Frontier, Trailblazer." And it has 3 little rules. Let it breathe. I thought it smelled fine. It just smells like wood, and I don't mind that. The scavenger hunt is finding the pieces. Like I said, just take them out as you do it. And then the last one was master the details. So they give you little punch out tools and things like that. Sanding, the basics. If you've done miniature kits before, you'll know exactly what to do. All right, we're going to sort all our panels. They're all in order by A, B, C, D, E. And let's get started. Page 1, step 1. This one gets built from the bottom up, which is fine. There's nothing really super hard here. The only tool that well, 2 tools I would say, is my pliers, because these pieces fit very tight. And I have a little tiny hammer that I've gotten in a couple kits that I use all the time. Otherwise, you could pretty much do straight without adding anything to it. Straight out of the box is what I'm trying to say. Another thing I liked on this one, and they always put in little red writing, it shows that they tested this, which is nice. Actual person made it to see if the instructions made sense, that kind of thing. Some kits you wonder, you know. But there is a definite order that you need to put these steps together. Otherwise, it just doesn't work right. And now we're going straight to the bar. We're making the bar. And you can't have a bar without bar stools, so we'll make a bunch of these. A lot of this goes on the inside. The only critique I would have, and I'll talk about it more towards the end, is this gets all sealed up. I guess it's kind of neat because you can peek through the windows and see everything in there. But it doesn't have any lighting whatsoever. Like I said, I'm going to address this at the end, and we'll add our own little flair. And of course, we have to have more shelves with more good old moonshine. Or whiskey. I don't know. What did they drink back then? Chardonnay? Chardonnay! I'm thinking this little saloon is probably more modern. It's got a menu first off. But you just build it up. If you did, oh, what's a good equivalent? When I did that 50s diner, it's very similar. It's just Western, pretty much. All right, we got all our parts. We're going to build a staircase. More shelves, more good old booze. right, let's put in the back wall. We're starting to build it up. This goes up pretty quick. I did it in about, well, I didn't do it straight, but if you really put your mind to it, you could probably do it in a day. And just zone out in front of the TV and just build it up. It is super cute. Look at that. They even have a vase of flowers. All right, we got the bottom. That's where the saloon doors are, you know. So there's two different textures. Just make sure that the one that has the solid brown, that goes on the inside. So that's where you're going to put the windows. They're going to be on the back side so you can see them on the front side. And you can't have a saloon without saloon doors. So let's go ahead and put these in. And this little piece, it's all cut up into several different pieces, and there's a reason for it. It's so that it can go through the saloon door little notches on each side. So just build it as they say. This is the door frame. And if all was done right, this should fit right there. I will say every single piece that I put together was very tight, and that's good. These ain't falling apart. And if it is loose, I came across just a tiny bit that were loose. Just put a dab of glue. And we have a little bench that's by the door here. So you can wait for your spot at the bar. And we will put that right here. Definitely, I did it pretty much exactly in order. There's only just a smidgen here and there that I may have done backwards, but But for the most part, I would say 99% of the time, I did it right in order. So, and there is a rhyme and reason to why it's in a certain order. And now we're going to do the side walls. The only thing I will say from the future is when I put the little saddle on there, it needs to go down just a little bit more because there's a roof over the top. I put it up a little too high. And then we'll just squish it in place. One thing, another thing I would recommend is, especially with these walls here, because they fit very tight and you're going to be manhandling the whole project, wait till everything dries if you put glue in. Especially the little, later on you'll have little beer bottles and things like that. So just make sure everything's secure before you start hammering and chiseling and banging this together. And the other side just has a couple wanted signs, as you do. So we'll do the same thing here. Just like that, we have a first floor. Not too bad, huh? It's very beautifully printed, too. It's a cute little building. All right, we got to build stuff for our horses because horses are very important in the Wild West. That's like our cars. You know, you want to make sure that they're well taken care of. So this is a water trough. We're going to be building ourselves a little stable on the side. And just to prove the point, you got to put a horse in there, right? Right, we're basically building saloon doors again, but this time the saloon doors are for the horses. While our horse is distracted with the water, we'll go ahead and build around him. So first the gates go up. And we're going to be building a couple of, they're basically the building, what do you call them? The poles that hold the roof up. I'm very technical today. And this is so they don't sneak out the back. So we'll just put that there. And now we're going to build the roof. And this is where I'm going to discover that my little saddle there is a little too high because it's going to get knocked down. I re-glue it on later. More roof. First you gotta put the little angles in there so that the rain washes down. There we go. Nice little dry area for the horse. Now this little area, the first thing I thought it was the outhouse, but it's not. The outhouse isn't that close to the bar. You wouldn't do that. You'd build it way out in the desert somewhere. But this is basically a storage or tack shed. So we're gonna, one shelf has a rope on it, and then we're gonna just build a little bitty closet for things. Before we put the shed there, we're gonna, it's a lot easier to do this before you put the shed on top. So just put your, it's a broom and some boxes or something like that. So put that in place and then put the shed building over the top of it. And that gets a roof too. All right, we got a couple of porch beams here. And it's, of course, you have to have a cow skull on one of them. And it's done in kind of a 3D fashion. And put them in place. Wish building a building was this easy, huh? A real building? Look at that. We're already to the second floor. And what do we have on the second floor? More drinking places. I imagine this is where they play cards and things like that. So we're going to build a nice little nifty table here. That's the base. And we'll put these little beer mugs in here. A couple of these were pretty loose, so when I tilted it up, it kind of fell out, so I just put a dabble of glue on the end. Easy solve. And we need a lot of chairs, so we're going to build 5 of these little stools. Got all those made. Time to put them into place. This is like the party room where you bring all your buddies up there. Safety first. Gotta put a rail up. Especially if we're gonna be drinking all these beers. More shelves. I don't know if I mentioned it before, but the printing on these are really nice. There's some cool pictures there. So this is just the back wall, and we'll put it into place once we put our shelf up. Now the walls for the top floor is a little different, and it's actually really neat looking. I like it a lot. So you got all these teeny tiny little pieces. Make sure that they even say that red side, that's what goes into the little slots, and make sure it's angled correctly. It'll make sense in a minute. So we're just gonna fill all these holes with these little pegs, and make sure you do it on the right side. And then we got slightly different little pegs, and they go around the door here. This is why you only take what you need out, otherwise these teeny tiny pieces, they'll get all mixed up. I want you to have fun, not get mad. And now you're going to see what all these pegs are for. We're going to shingle the wall. The effect is really nice. You're going to notice gaps here and there. We're going to fill most of them right now, so that's going to be the doorway here. Everything gets covered by the end of it. Every surface has a purpose. And this upper floor gets a regular door, so we're just going to put the door handle on. And then it fits, I would put it in the top notch at the top, and then place the whole wall in the building. That way it's a little easier than trying to put the wall in and then the door in. So put that in up there, and then hold that in place, and then put it on your whole build here. And you get a swinging door. All right, we got 2 more walls, and we're going to do pretty much exactly the same thing. putting up the fourth wall. And ta-da! You're going to notice that on the corners, it sticks out. There's a reason for that. And there's nothing there. We're going to make corner beams later on. But first, we're going to put the roof on. Now we'll make the corner beams. And they do only go one way because there's holes that go a certain way. Very nice. See, it's all nice, neat, and tidy. All right, we need a sign on top. And the printing goes on the back. It doesn't feel right, but you'll see why in a little bit. They thought of front, side, back, everything. It all looks good from every angle. All right, we're still building the sign. And if you're like me that was looking at this going, what in the world? You got to trust the process here. Now, the only tricky part I will say is right at the top here, make sure it's all towards the front because that hole is big enough for 2 pieces of wood. And there's a reason. So that thing that you put on the roof, that's going to fit into the back of this square hole where my thumbs are. Hope that made sense. I'll show you later on. And then there's 2 little side pieces. The way they built this is so it looks like it was broken and cracked, and it's a good effect. Now they wanted you to build this together, but I decided I'm going to put it together on the sign itself. It made more sense to me. And right here, remember these holes I was talking about? So that back gap goes right on the sign here. There we go. See? It looks like a cracked old sign. And I told you, they thought about the back, the side, and everything, the details. So how are we going to hold up the sign? Just like you do with a real sign, with little braces. And they even have a little, it's a water barrel, I believe. That's what that would be for. We're almost there, but we have to build access to go up to the second floor. Besides the inside staircase, we have to have an outside access, right? And put some railings up. We have a cool little balcony here. Now the only thing that, and that was probably me not looking at the picture right, is these little poles here. I faced them the wrong way. They need to go, was it perpendicular? The other way for everything to fit. I do fix it later. So when I try to fit this piece in, I'm noticing, wait a minute, that doesn't work because those two poles that look like people, kind of, sort of, they need to be turned. Easy enough. There we go. Now they fit. It's a little fiddly, but it does go all together. And now we're going to build an actual little chair. Just how you would think it would be built. We have to have something to put on that cute little balcony. He's on the lookout. Another staircase. Let's build it up. And this fits right in the notches. There's a couple notches at the top, and that's where there's a little stick-ups there. They just fit right in there, and everything does fit nice and tight. This thing ain't falling apart. Time for a railing. And there's a little sign on it, so you know, go up that way. That's the party room. Speaking of signs, we got a couple more. So we got our welcome. It's a very friendly saloon. And then a couple lanterns. We also have a rope that goes down here. This probably would have been easier to do before we put the roof on. But that's okay. We can get it in there. And I did put a little bit of glue on that. Can't forget the main sign. Gotta put that up there. Pool, cards, and whiskey. We have a little bit of landscaping, so we're going to build some cactuses. Basically 2 pieces slotted together. And we just put them where they want them to go. Definitely out in the desert. We even have a cute little lizard here. More desert plants. You have to have a random wagon wheel. It's just required. Cow skulls, wagon wheels, saloon doors. And a horse. And speaking of wagons, we're going to build one. So we're just going to, it's basically like building a box. It just has things sticking out that's normally not on a box. So that makes it a wagon. Did that make sense at all? All right, we got our box or wagon. Now we got to put wheels on it. So you put the wheel on and then the little hubcap there. Ta-da! Cute little wagon. Now this just sits in the projects and I glued it down, but you could have it loose if you wanted to. All right, now we're going to be building a whole lot of barrels. It looks very daunting, but it's not that bad. Again, so this one you had to build 3 of them. So I built all 3 at the same time. So I took all the pieces just for this project. Don't do all the barrels at once because they're different sizes. So I'm going to build 3 of these little guys. And they're just like building a little star in the middle, and then you cover it with the panels. And 2 of these are going to go in the wagon, and I just glued it in. And we're going to put the cart behind the horse. Two more barrels. This one's done just slightly different. These are bigger ones, but otherwise, same thing. One of them goes here, and the other one goes here. I did glue this one in too. And that's done. Just as planned, just how it says in the book. But I felt it needed, because I wanted to show all the cool stuff that's inside the building. So I'm going to do a little bit of an optional job. I'm going to drill some holes in the back and see if I can put some lights in it. Let's see if it works. So I have a ton of these little tiny lights that I bought for different projects and things like that, and battery packs. So I'm going to try, and this may or may not work, but it's worth a shot. I'm going to try to drill some inconspicuous holes in the back. Since the back is nice and clean, plenty of room to do things here. I'm going to put one on the top and one on the bottom and see what happens. after I put these in, they weren't super bright. Didn't quite get the effect that I wanted. I think I might have to replace them later with something even brighter. So I did double them up. I originally put one little diode up there, and then I ended up putting two. I think later on I'm going to play with it again and put maybe a little chandelier in there or something, because it definitely needs a little something to go in there. So what I'm doing here is I'm just going to build a box for my battery pack, and we'll just clean it up in the back. Again, this is just a little extra that I did. And there you go, a cute little saloon with a couple horses. Very, very cute. And you know what? The lights did add a little something, the more I look at it. I think sometimes when you work on a project close up, you can't really see it until you look away for a while. So yeah, there we go. Now we can see inside. And I even took a picture of it with the lights off. Ooh.
Whew. It's hot out here. Put my horse away. I think she'll be just fine around here. And the cat stampede, I think, is gone. Whew, that was close. I guess they're prevalent around here. Just have to be prepared for it or get used to it. So this is from Benlarky, and this is their very first miniature kit. So let's give them some love. Leave a comment. We love it. Make some more. Haven't seen a Western, right? No, I don't think any of them has done a Western type kit. So this one was a lot of fun. And I think my dad will probably inherit this one. Where do you think I get all this from? So if you hit the like button, show that you love this kind of wacky stuff. Encourage me, why not? And if you haven't already, hit that subscribe. Thank you for everyone that has subscribed. You are amazing, and yep, you're still encouraging me to do this silliness. It's fun. I love it. And what else? Oh, if you haven't already, we have 5 members. I know, it's a big deal. I know there's people that have millions and whatever. 5 is a big deal, and I appreciate all the members that have supported DeeBee's Handicrafts. You help with the costumes and the supplies and all the things that we need to keep this channel going. And if you are interested, I'm not forcing you at all. Just click the join button. I believe it's $1.99 now. So go ahead and click on that, depending on what country. I think it's different based on country. but I have placed it as the lowest as it can go, because I don't want to force you to do what you don't want to do. So hit the join button if you want. And it's not a yearly, it's just month by month. If you want to do it 1 month, you want to do it 5,000 months, it's up to you. Cancel anytime. And I guess I'm off to the next one. But first, I think I'm going to stop in and get me a drink. Bye.
Howdy, Mr. Smith. How's the fur trade doing today? What a mighty fine day we got here. Jacob, I said no more drinks. Put that down before I do something to you. Howdy, ma'am. How are you today? Thanks for riding into town.